You are listening to Wicked Psychotherapists, a podcast where two psychotherapists show you that taking care of and learning about mental health doesn't have to be wicked hard.
Hey guys, it's Tanya.
Hi, it's Erin, and welcome to Wicked Psychotherapists.
Yeah, so today we have a little bit of a different theme. We went to the coming of age kind of sector in movies, and this is kind of I think the first coming of age movie that we've done, right?
I don't know. Would we consider Heather's coming of age or Mermaids?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe.
Heather's was kind of yeah, definitely, yeah. I would say so. Definitely like 80s coming of age. So probably now like young adulthood, kind of for that era.
Yeah. Well, this is the first coming of age that we've had in this decade.
Yeah. Because this just came out. Was
Last
it this
year.
year or last year?
Yeah, I think so. Either something, maybe 2023 or 2024. It was new. It's not 1980.
Yeah, but it's Adam Sandler takes a back seat in this. His daughters kind of take on the main role, but one of them in particular, it's called You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, which is on Netflix. I had a hard time remembering that, so I had to really think about the title.
It's hard for me not to laugh at how slow you had to say it.
Yeah, I was like, what is the next word? But yeah, it's it turned out to be like a pretty decent movie. I admit I'm not a huge fan of modern day coming of age films or really anything like that, because I just can't relate, and it's just not my thing. But this was actually it was pretty good. I mean, it was decent. I liked it. I thought it was not too bad.
Yeah.
It definitely had some good points. It brought me back to middle school, which I don't love, but this was not in a very, it ends up having some good endings, good resolve. So that's
yeah.
good.
I always like I don't know. I like any teen type of thing. I always like the teen type of movies usually. And teen shows.
Definitely do not. Maybe like 80s type things or whatever, but I definitely don't like them now, but so this surprised me, but yeah, and his Adam Sandler's daughter, the younger one, Sunny, is kind of the main character, although his older daughter Sadie is in it playing her older sister. And Adam Sandler plays their father, and their mother is playing the role of the younger daughter. Her name is Stacy in the movie, her best friend's mother, which is kind of funny. So the whole family's in it, which is interesting. But yeah, it kind of centers around obviously Bat Mitzvah's in the title. There's a lot of Stacy. She and her best friend, you kind of see how close they are. They've been friends since they were like 3 years old, kind of thing. They're now coming up on their bat mitzvahs. They're excited to plan for them. Sounds like they've been planning them since they were little.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a bat mitzvah is, it's like a coming of age celebration in the Jewish culture that basically kind of technically symbolizes you're an adult, not literally, but kind of it's a kind of a symbolic ceremony. I don't know like a whole lot about it, but that's my knowledge of it. But yeah, and they kind of there's a lot of stuff going on. They kind of show Stacy and her friend's name is Lydia. They show them just kind of navigating crushes and peer pressure situations. Stacy is really obsessed with this, or really into this like, I guess, the cutest guy, which man, it's been a while for me because I don't understand. But whatever, middle school. Andy Goldfarb or whatever is like the hot guy, the hot soccer player. And,
but I think that's how it always, like, like if you think back when you were in middle school too, it's always the, like the kid that, like you just think about or something, who is like, just like this, oh, he's so cool, bruh. Like whatever he says, like, like whatever Dylan just like, so like, nothing bothers me. I'm so cool. I'm just this really, I have this floopy hair and I play soccer, so all the, so I think there's stuff like that probably in every generation, like that dumb guy that girls are just obsessed about in middle school and don't really know anything about him at all as a person, but just you create this person, this persona or something.
Yeah. Andy is that person, and I think there's probably not much to know about him because there's probably not much to him. He doesn't seem to have, that interesting of a personality. It tends to be, as he's later described, very basic. He is basic.
Yeah.
He uses all the terms of like bet, facts, kind of that type of stuff. Which
yes.
Like,
oh my gosh, that drives me insane. Like,
yeah, I can't. It's like, that's not, you haven't lived long enough to have that lingo. You just haven't. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know I sound old saying that, but I don't care. I am, and I've earned
back
it. Back
in my day, we would use full sentences. Yeah.
It just is like somebody, I don't know. I just always see a kid talking like that, and I'm just like, what do you know about facts? What do you know about, like, that's the way life should be? You've only watched TikTok. You have not experienced anything. And like, you just, obviously it's an image. It's an image.
Right.
But it's just, it's just silly to me. So there's this kind of, Stacy is just really into Andy, and you kind of sense that Lydia maybe is too. You catch her kind of looking at him, but she doesn't really say anything. There's kind of, it seems like Andy is a lot of people's dream guy, and there's kind of a chance encounter with, kind of like, I guess he, Andy's playing soccer and the ball hits Stacy in the head, and he's like, oh, my bad, and does like the whole like chest pound, like, like, I got you, yeah. And she just kind of does it back, which is really funny. She's like, how do you respond to that? But that was pretty perfect. Like, I can't breathe. It's got the wind knocked out of me, but okay. Oh wow, he acknowledged me. Yeah. It's kind of didn't like apologize. Just like, my bad. Yeah. Yeah. That's like his version of an apology, yeah. It brings you back to that time when, like, you're just so, like, you crave, like, any kind of attention from your crush, and you think, oh, wow, maybe they really like me, when really it's just, like, maybe they just noticed you, kind of thing. Maybe he hit me on purpose, so that we'd have to have this interaction. Yeah, it definitely can lead to some circular logic, right? I definitely had some of that in my day in middle school. I can't remember much of it, but I know I did. Yeah, I know. I know I did too. It was like, and then when you look back, you're like, what was I thinking? Like, it was just like, even if you think of who the person was, or, who your crush in 6th grade, or, like, or 7th grade, or whatever grade, like, it is kind of funny when you think about it. Well, when I think about it, I'm like, what? Yeah, it is. It's crazy. It really is. Because, I mean, I don't know if maybe this is kind of universal, but I know I had a perspective of everyone else is so experienced and I'm not, and like, nobody is. That now. I know that now, looking back. Like, everyone was lying. No one was really. They weren't really going on dates. They were holding hands, and it's So there's just kind of this atmosphere of, like, and Stacy kind of feels that way. She's very much, she just seems to kind of really want his attention and really kind of want to, like, I don't know, have one of those, like, like a dating or like a relationship or whatever, middle school kind of equivalent of that is, right? And yeah, and then there's this series of embarrassing events. You know, they're at this place, like they get Lydia, her friend, gets invited to hang out with like the popular girls, and she brings Stacy along. They go to like the Ledge, which is like the hangout place where, I guess, in their town sort of thing. And like the big thing is like who's gonna jump off? Like that's like legendary. And Stacy like kind of, you know, Andy's there, the crush, and so she's like, I'll do it because she just so wants to like, you know, get his attention. And like she's just like she's obviously not really thinking it through because she's just like, I just so, you know, she's kind of got the googly eyes.
I'm having the embarrassment for her already.
Yes. Because she's brave. She does jump off, which I was like, that's a big thing to jump off. Like, that's pretty scary. But she does do it. But unfortunately, if you haven't seen this movie, this is a spoiler. It's kind of a not so wonderful spoiler, but, you know, she is having her period and her father like ends up only getting her pads. The pad kind of floats up when she hits the water. Everybody above is like at first cheering like, oh, you're a legend, this and that, and then they see the pad in the water.
They're like, what is that?
Yeah, like what is that? And the girls actually are very defend her and are like, oh, okay, like you don't have a period, you know. And it seems like that Andy's the one that makes the joke, her crush, and is like, oh, she turned into the Red Sea. And Lydia, her friend, kind of laughs because I think she just kind of feels weird and doesn't like know. And, you know, we learn later Lydia also has a crush on Andy. She just felt like she couldn't really say it because Stacy kind of was very, you know, kind of open about it. And
this is my crush and this is who I like. Yeah. So and then everyone videos it. You know, it's just pretty mortifying for you know.
It is. A part of me wanted to be like, just grab it and at least try to hide it, you know, like, I don't know, but I was like, before anyone sees just me.
It's like float away. You know, it's, you know, go back to Adam Sandler for a second. You wonder, is this the same spot that they had them jump off in,
Grown Ups?
Grown Ups?
Yeah.
You know,
it did kind of look like it, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. That would be really funny if it was, yeah.
Yeah, this is their jumping ledge for movies.
He does like to reuse things and like kind of recycle themes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a possibility. I don't know. We should somebody look that up for us.
Let us know.
We're curious. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a very nice place. I would not be jumping off that ledge.
No, I know, and I know we've talked before. Like I just have such fear of jumping off the ledges from quarries and stuff like that. Of like, okay, is there a car down there or what? You know, like or rocks or you know, like because you never know what's in the water. Yeah. Because
I actually went to high school with some people who I remember one case where I believe someone did do that and he did pass away from that. I don't know if it was in high school or right after, but
and some people are so dumb they'll go face first or head first. And I think this kid, it was just like he misjudged where it was, or it was just kind of all over the place or something. That's horrible.
The depth of it. But it's really it's a lot, but so I mean there's that kind of sets a little rift between Stacy and her friend Lydia.
Because not only was she supposed to not laugh, but then it's like, wait a minute, why is she laughing? Does she also have the crush on him too? You know, it's a lot of things are opening up now. These people who have been best friends their entire life.
Yeah, and I think she maybe was just wondering, like, why would you, like, I had everybody against me and everybody was watching, why couldn't you be that one person?
Yeah.
You know, like, I always relied on you kind of thing. And it just kind of opens up a rift, which, again, I felt very hard, very deeply. I was like, that's, you know, you always kind of, you know, if you have an embarrassing moment, you're like, oh, I expect my friend to, like, back me up 100%. And also, you kind of just are just so upset. You just kind of maybe are upset at your friends, you know, because they're the only person there that like you trust. And yeah, it's kind of irrational, but yeah. And Lydia had been telling her, don't do it. And so I think Lydia was kind of like, well, I kind of told you not to do it. Right. And, so you get the sense that there is a little bit of a power dynamic in there, which there is in all friendships, especially in middle school.
Yeah. And especially girls, like it's hard, like that friendship too. It's, like it is hard because especially a lot of times girls tend to want to just have that one girl. Some girls just want to have that one friend. And then if there is a crush or if they get another friend or something, it does change the dynamics a lot. And sometimes it's hard for some people to navigate through that. Like,
yeah. There's a lot of like sensitivities and kind of drama around friendships, but especially I can only speak from the girl perspective at that point. I don't really know what guys were doing, honestly, at that point. I really don't know.
They're making fart jokes and
yeah, probably. Yeah. That sounds like it would have been more fun.
Yeah,
but...
that seems like it's more middle school. Like, yeah, fart jokes and mooning each other, like pulling each other's pants down in the hallway.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just stupidness.
Yeah, kind of that ridiculousness. But yeah, it's very much like it's I don't know, this movie definitely brought me back to some of those points where I just kind of cringed for the characters and for myself. Like, of like, oh yeah, man, it's just such a rough time. It really is.
Yeah, it did make me remember a lot of those cringe worthy moments of being in middle school. And it's hard. Middle school, like I always joke, like, think like there should be like a I survived middle school group for people. Like, it's as a therapist, I know middle school gets brought up a lot with adult clients because it's kind of the 3 years, but it's pretty pivotal of like who you are, who your friends are going to be in high school and who you're going to be and how, like as a student or a person, it's really interesting how it does affect you so much.
It sets you up for a lot. Yeah. It does. And it's really just like where so many things, it's like that cocoon area. And it's like, that's where all this stuff takes shape. And then, it's just, yeah, it is rough. I think I blocked out, and I know a lot of people have said that, like, I think I blocked out a lot of memories from there because I don't want to remember.
Yeah, I have bits and pieces. I'm still friends with a couple people from middle school, but yeah, I think I've blocked out a lot of the, like I remember like being in shop class. I remember being in like a science class, which is like, you're like, this is really weird idea. Like letting middle schoolers do experiments with hydrochloric acid or whatever, whatever, like, it's like looking back, it's like, wow, the 80s were weird.
Yeah.
And it's just, but I don't remember, like a lot, like, things come and go, but I do remember the stress, the anxiety that it caused, like middle school.
Yeah. Particularly, I mean, like, it's like, because you want to be seen, but at the same point, you don't want to be seen for the wrong things. And there's just so many like landmines to navigate. It's just like doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing. And I feel like it's different now for this generation, and that reflects in this movie, where it's like, maybe people are more acceptable, like with the girls defending her and being like, okay, everybody gets a period, like, I feel like that would have, I don't know that would have been, at least for the people I was around, I think they kind of would have just felt weird and maybe not said anything. But I think that's a little different. But then again, there's so many things that like you put online that there's even more to be embarrassed about. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like pros and cons to it. There's like differences, which is like of every generation, right? But yeah, I could not imagine being a teen nowadays where like everything can be recorded, everything can be, I don't know, put up and never erased, and just oh my God, that makes me seriously hurt as a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this, we see this, that there was a kind of a betrayal, right? Because Lydia then ends up dating Stacy's crush, and Stacy is really, really confused. She's really like upset, and it kind of comes out like, hey, I've always kind of liked him, but you never really let me have that. It was just kind of about your crush with him,
right?
And then Lydia and Andy are dating, and they actually seem kind of happy, but Stacy is understandably upset, so she sets up to kind of sabotage her a bit, and a lot, and like passes a rumor around about the long hair, which I'm not gonna repeat, but she kind of, because now there's like all these anonymous boards that you can just put things up, which is so horrifying. Like that would be the equivalent of like the slam books that we would pass around. Ugh, oh my God. Except you could trace back people's handwriting in that. This is like even more scary. And she also tells Andy like, oh, like she lied, she hasn't kissed a bunch of boys. And then I think that's what leads to the breakup?
I don't remember. I cannot remember what led to it, but he's so shallow. I mean, it's probably,
it was something silly, like nothing probably worth remembering. Yeah, which is pretty much middle school, right? Like that's how those relationships like start and end.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they're not relationships, but yeah, and so somehow, he breaks up with her. There's all these rumors. Like Lydia's kind of mad because she knows Stacy's had a part in that, and she's like, "You're just punishing me," kind of that type of thing.
Right.
But then it looks like they're gonna make up, at Lydia's bat mitzvah, and then of course there's more strife going on because there's all this recorded video that makes it into like the intro video, like when they get introduced. That are like very embarrassing moments for Lydia, and that was not Stacy's intention. If you've seen this movie, you know what we're talking about. It was like she was mad at her, did put that in the save file, but then her mom,
grabbed the wrong one.
Yeah, and kind of, didn't realize. Yeah, so it made it to the final cut. Because Lydia did say, I don't want you to do the intro video anymore. So I think Stacy was just thinking like, oh, she just doesn't want it, and didn't realize Lydia's mom would come and pick it up. But then that's when I think it seems like their friendship is like over. Like that's like the ultimate betrayal. And so there's all these things like this kind of like, crushes and like what's loyalty, what's like how are you forming your identity, who are your group of friends, how are you defining your character, like that we face all throughout our lives, but especially it's just so raw in middle school. It's just such a hard thing. Like my stomach is getting nauseous just thinking about it. But it really is just a tough time. And I'm sure everybody listening understands and remembers.
Yeah. And I feel bad. I have two middle schoolers. So I'm like, I feel really bad for everything that they have to endure all day, or, like it's tough because
it is
school, it's really people,
is. And I mean, for some people, maybe it's not as, like maybe it's kind of like they're able to get through and find a way to just kind of manage that. I just think there's some common themes that people tend to kind of be like, yeah, I kind of remember that, right?
Yeah. Well, even like you're with a whole bunch of more people than you were in elementary school. And the classes seem bigger. You're able to choose your own elective, your lunch, so there's a lot of different things. And then like probably the popular people, it's probably more noticeable. There's probably a lot of things that are seen a little bit more than they, kids saw in elementary school. So it is probably amplified in junior high.
Yeah, and it always is like it's really frustrating, and I'm sure this is probably kind of, you know, a lot of people experience this as well too, but if you're not from a very like wealthy or to-do family, it tends to be that like the popular kids do tend to have some sort of kind of resources that
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you know, they can throw like parties that are fun, or like they can do things,
Mm-hmm.
they can buy clothes that are kind of like status symbols, they can
Yeah.
like go to activities that kind of cost a lot of money. And it just feels like you just feel so inadequate if you're in that kind of like, and I know that wasn't really in this movie because um it seems like Stacy's family was doing okay, you know, like they didn't seem to be struggling with that. But I'm just saying, like, personally, I
Yeah.
think we probably relate more to that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I know we did not, my family did not have $10,000 parties, or we could not even do a $500 party, or, you know, like it was just, yeah.
Yeah. It was just about like affording maybe a
Hmm.
cake or having a cake made for you
Yeah.
and like a gift or two, like a couple
Yeah.
of
And
gifts.
a family party, you know, like
Yeah.
parents and
Yeah.
siblings. That's it, you know, which is
Right.
fine. It was, you know, it's, that was kind of the tradition in our family, and that was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And quite honestly, I didn't want any of those big parties, but it just kind of was, I guess it was just kind of a little bit of something that you kind of felt like, well, like even if I wanted to, I couldn't have that. You know, like it just
Yeah.
didn't feel great, you know, knowing
Hmm.
that. Yeah.
I don't remember a lot. Maybe I was just a big dweeb, but I don't remember a lot of people having parties, or just maybe I never was invited, or the people I was friends with just didn't have big parties. Like we'd have like maybe go to someone's house every once in a while, you know, for something, but not like a big event.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like parties, like just, yeah, kind of like, you know, some friends over and like just kind of doing some games outside kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And I think, I mean, I definitely did start to hear though, like in late middle school and high school, of like parties that it seemed like kind of, you know, like epic, or like going out into the woods like that, you know, that's in my
Oh, I
area.
would,
That's where you
yeah,
do,
I
you
would,
know.
I would participate in those. But I there was
The
not a
fun
keg.
ones.
Yeah, there was not a keg party I missed, but there, but the other time,
See, I
but the
was a
other
nerd in
type,
that. I
yeah,
did not want. I
yeah,
stayed away from those because I was and
no,
still am a nerd. But
yeah, no, yeah, I liked the wood parties, and but maybe that was because I didn't get invited to enough normal parties when I was younger. Poor me.
I mean, you know, it's those are kind of, you know, like that's the socializing you do. And
Yeah.
if people don't know what we're talking about like in the, like if you didn't grow up in like a big city, you tend to have like kind of bonfires in the woods, or just kind of like
Yeah.
go to a spot in the woods where like you can kind of get away from people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure you've seen
You
it in
all,
like movies and stuff, but like that was
it's
kind of
real.
the big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You all know woods or old area. And yeah, I don't know how they get the keg, but someone brings a keg of beer.
Someone always gets it. Yeah. Someone has a cool older sibling or uncle
Yeah.
or
And it's
something
always
like
and then
that.
you're always like, why is this older person here? Or, you
They're
know,
like,
showing
yeah,
us
high school is the best time of my life. And they
like,
graduated like 3
yeah. Then
years
you think
ago.
now, like, what a loser. Like when you
Yeah.
look back as an adult, it's like, oh my gosh, what a loser
But
teaching
back
us
then
how
you're like,
to
hey, that's
get
pretty
to the keg.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Like
wow.
they got
Yes.
us
And in the
this.
back
I'm
of
like, look at
his red
them.
pickup truck. Yeah. It's
Yeah, that is true. It's so funny how that perspective changes. And
yeah, because at first you're like, oh my
yeah.
God, this guy's so cool. He's 18 or 21 and whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh, what a loser. Why is he still in town? Why didn't he move out?
Yeah, and why does he enjoy the company of like 17, 16-year-olds and he's like in his 20s? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
funny.
But yeah, and there's always kind of, I think, you know, different standards of like what's cool or what people want, like what
Hmm.
image they need, you know, to kind of feel good about themselves. And this movie is very much, Stacy navigating this, and Lydia, and kind of how it strained their relationship.
Yeah.
And then how they eventually make it back to one another, because at the same time, concurrently, there's a theme of Stacy making her bat mitzvah, and she's like, learning what it is to be an adult, and she's realizing to like take accountability and realize that she was kind of acting very immaturely and not being a good friend. And
and so that's kind of like the theme too, is like, being an adult, but it doesn't mean like, hey, all of a sudden you have to start paying taxes. It's like, hey, now you have to be accountable for your actions and realize like, oh, wait a minute, you played a huge part in hurting your friend. It wasn't just her. So what can you do to make amends to this?
Yeah. And I think that was, she, in the end, Stacy gives up her intro like video and kind of introduction into her bat mitzvah to Lydia so she can have it. The videos kind of ruined Lydia's bat mitzvah. So that was like a good deed, the mitzvah or whatever that they were talking about.
She gave it to her. Yeah,
and they end up kind of being friends and friends again. They're kind of, back to that. Hopefully things can get repaired along the way. It probably took a little time, but and it's a very, I think it's a good understanding of like, because I think there's some really like realistic themes in there where it's not just like, okay, I just say I'm sorry and then things are back to normal. Like there's definitely a lot of things in between, and then there's other considerations and things that people may not be willing to forgive so easily. And so repairing a friendship is, really about accountability and communication and realizing, how to prioritize that. And learning that in middle school is really good, because some people, it takes them into their 20s to realize that. Some people into their 30s, like,
I sometimes feel like, I sometimes feel like I really learned like, oh my gosh, I don't need to worry about this person or that person. It took me like probably until like 30, like for some things.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah, I definitely do.
Like I feel like I have a handle on it now. But I still have like insecurities, but I feel like for the most part I'm not like triple questioning everything all the time.
Yeah. I think I've definitely grown where I don't feel like I can understand why I do some things, and I can say, okay, if I messed up, if this person is reasonable enough to kind of understand that, we can probably work this out, or maybe sometimes it just can't be repaired and I have to kind of accept that. And and also to not, I think I was, for a long time, I was very much kind of a people pleaser, and I thought I had to do everything possible to make the other person comfortable, and I no longer believe that. And I'm very glad to be away from that. But it's a really, it's an interesting perspective, and it's definitely from set in the Jewish culture coming of age, so it's interesting, and Adam Sandler's family just is all over it. So we thought that was pretty cool, of course. It was, I wonder if they decided to have Jackie Sandler, the mother, play the best friend, Lydia's mom, because they were like, okay, that would be a little too much, to kind of like, we're all just the family, that would be kind of like, they're just all kind of
it's just kind of like, okay, but I think it probably helps the dynamic a little bit that she was part of the other family.
And I did like Idina Menzel. I love her. She's like the queen of Broadway. I love her as the mother. I'll always love her voice. I still picture her as Elphaba in Wicked. In the early 2000s. Not that I saw her live, but I just saw her.
She was.
But so I think it was, for a coming of age movie, and something that I'm personally not a fan of nowadays, I liked it.
I did too. And I watched it with my kids and my husband, and they really liked it because they're, you know, the kids are that age. So, you know, my daughter's like, there's some inappropriate stuff, but for the for the most part though, it's very kid appropriate.
Did they like ask questions about the like kind of the bat mitzvah and the like Jewish culture part, or did they already kind of understand that?
Um, they asked, but they also in history, I think it's almost like a mini, not a full religions of the world, but they do go over the different religions in like their what is it, the sixth grade world history. So they kind of knew some of the.
Oh, nice, very nice, yeah. So in the movie, this is kind of coming to the fun question. We see the themes that they, Stacy and Lydia have planned out that they've apparently had planned out for a long time. Stacy has New York, like a New York theme, and Lydia has Candyland. And Erin and I were talking before this, and, you know, we're kind of like, well, what are some other themes? And we were kind of looking up some things and how lavish some bat mitzvahs can be. And so I think for the fun question today, I would ask, what do you think your 13-year-old self would choose as a bat mitzvah theme? What do you think would be something you would do?
Okay, so it's interesting because it was me. Now it'd be different, but if I go back to what did I like at 15? I mean at 13. I think I was very. I've always been very animal obsessed, but I was very dog and horse obsessed. So very horse obsessed. Even though I was telling Tanya, they kind of intimidate me and they make me sneeze. But I did like, I knew all the breeds. I would always draw horses. I was like obsessed, you know. So I think I would probably have done a horse theme, maybe not like at a corral, but I think I would like, you know, have like big stuff, like the movie Big, like at FAO Schwartz, like the big stuffed horses everywhere, or like make it more like princess horses, maybe like Cinderella, like, or a white horse walk in like on the horse of many colors from Wizard of Oz or something like that. I would probably have some sort of pretty horse, but not like a country theme. I don't think it would be like cowboy. It would be more like, hey, there's horses. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and actually the Wizard of Oz would be a cool theme too.
Yeah, that would be fun.
There's so many different things. I was saying I would probably do like kind of a celestial theme. I was really into, and it still kind of am into, like, you know, like stars and moon and like, you know, just different elements like that. Like I was very much into astronomy and astrology, honestly. Like at that age, that was very much my thing.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be something around that, or
have a palm reader or something there.
Yeah, something kind of kind of quote unquote spiritual or something.
Yeah,
like
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, now I think I'd probably look at something more kind of art themed. I like art. Just kind of, you know, like, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Broadway art-ish kind of, I don't know, something like that. I really like that kind of stuff now.
If I did it today, I'd probably do something outside. Like, I like the idea of the art, maybe like, but I love gardening, like gardens and flowers. So maybe like one of those outdoor garden classes or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, you could do a ton, and your birthday lends itself to that, the time of year.
It does. Yeah. So I'll have to do my own Sweet 16 times something.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're wondering what you thought about this movie, if you've seen it, if you want to see it. Also what you would do for your bat mitzvah, or if you did do something for your bat mitzvah, or if you are maybe you know, around that age and are planning for your bat mitzvah and you're, you know, listening to this, let us know if you want. It'd be fun to kind of see themes. And let us know if you have any ideas for the future. We have lots of stuff planned coming up.
I was just trying to see what else is the next one. The next one is Spaceman, which I have never seen, and I'm kind of excited
I haven't either.
to see it. It looks almost, when I saw the preview of it, it reminded me of the Adam Weir book, Hail Mary, which is now a movie. So it's a spaceman talking to someone. Adam Sandler's a astronaut or something. So it should be good, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll find out because we'll be back to talk about it. So
yes, we will. We will.
Yeah. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, all the socials. We are some form of Wicked Psychotherapists, at Wicked Psychotherapist, the Wicked Psychotherapist. We are on YouTube if you want to see our lovely backgrounds and but yeah, and don't forget to write us a 5-star review. That helps us out to be seen, to be known. We appreciate it. And don't forget, stay wicked.
And keep your mind well. All right, everyone. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.